Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Rogers from Web Pieces. This is where we get to share web development tips and get to unblock each other and also get to know how to deal with different scenarios that always come up during our development process that might block us. So I do share videos that have got to do with how to deal with different things in CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. So today we shall be looking at how we can center this content within our given container. So as you can see, this is our container and we want to sort of like center these two elements that we have. This H1 right here and this div that has our cards. As you can see, the container is quite huge and not all elements are well centered. There is some space here that is left, as you can see on your right. And then there's also some space that is left at the bottom of this container. So you might come up, you might come across a situation whereby you are required to center both the title and the container that has got the cards. So in order to do that, we shall jump right into our VS Code. So this is my index.html that has got the HTML that you're seeing right here. And then this is my CSS that you can see right here. So what we shall be doing is first of all getting to know which CSS property can help us quickly center these two items in this container of ours. So this container is the parent to this H1 and to this div that has got the cards. So you might be wondering, how can we center this in just 3 steps? How can we center these items by just adding 3 CSS properties to our container? So these properties will be 3 to 4 depending on the scenario that you have. But in my scenario, there will be 3 to 4 steps. So let's jump right in. So this is our container class that you can see right here. It only has a height of 680. So the first CSS property that we shall add is display flex. So let's add display flex. So display flex, what display flex does is it makes sure that these items occupy as much space as they can in order for all their items to fit within that space. So as you can see, this is my H1. It is taking as much space as it can within my container div. And then the cards element is also taking as much space as it can within this container. So as you can see, our alignment has changed. By default, flexbox is set to align items horizontally. And in order to change these items to go back to where they were aligned vertically, we would have to add another CSS property called flex direction. So what flex direction does, as you can see the name, or as the name sounds like, it changes the direction of the flex items. So in this case, we shall change the items and they will have a flex direction of column. So once we add that and we get back here and refresh our file, you can see that they're now vertically aligned. This is our container, and as you can see, this right here up is our H1, and then these other items they belong to the cards container or the cards element. Now, as you can see, we are having our elements in sort of like a vertical order, but again, this is not enough because as you can see, there's this space left on your right or at the right of our container. So there is this space that is not yet occupied by these other items. And our major goal today is to make sure that both the H1 and the div that has our cards are properly centered and taking up as enough space as they can, and then leaving the same space on the left and on the right of this container class. So we shall go back into our VS Code. We shall get back into our VS Code. And then under this flex direction property, add another property that is called align items. So what align items does, we shall give it align item center. So what align item center does is it makes sure that these items are well aligned in the center of this container. In other words, these items are pushed from the left and then they are well aligned, or they are pushed to the center of this container in terms of the horizontal alignment. So horizontally, these items are now well aligned in our container element. So just to throw more light on what align items does, align items simply makes sure that all these items within our container class are horizontally well centered within our container, as you can see. So in order to make sure that these items occupy the rest of this space left in this container, element, so in other words, in order for these items to properly occupy all this space that is left vertically, as you can see, there is some space right here indicated by this sort of like purple container. So this purple container indicates that there is some space left vertically within this container element. So in order to occupy this left space vertically, we shall add another CSS property which is called justify content. So we shall add justify content center in order to make sure that these items are now occupying all the required space, and that there is now equal space that is being left vertically within this container element. So now, as you can see, our items are well centered, and the space that is left on the left is the same as the space left on the right. Now, if at all you don't have any other elements on your page, you can go ahead and make sure that the space left at the top and bottom of the container element is the same. But that wasn't really the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to make sure that the elements that we had originally are well centered on our page, and that there's enough equal space that is left on the right and on the left. So guys, this is how you can easily center your elements using the flexbox CSS property, or the flex CSS property. So guys, that is it. You can give this video a thumbs up, and also make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss out on any videos coming up in the future. So guys, until then, see you soon. Thank you so much.